Hello, Brian Pitcher. How are you today?
I'm doing good today.
Actually, I should be in this picture too, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should be.
I should be. There I am.
Oh, there he is.
Santa.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
him.
I'm trying to wear
him.
trying to wear headphones with a Santa Claus hat. It's not exactly easy. Okay. All right. Well,
Difficult.
how are you guys doing? Good.
Good.
I'm doing
Do you
good.
think I should have had Kayla in the big spot? Brian, you're big enough already.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm big enough already. We
Why
should
do
be
you
in.
make my head look big?
Well, that God did that.
Okay, I got you.
We should have Kayla over there. I'll have to switch her later on during the break or something like that. Kayla, how you doing? Well, ladies first.
I'm doing good.
Good. All right. I'm glad to hear that. You got all your Christmas shopping done?
Yeah, just about.
Just about. Okay. How much more do you have to do?
Not much else.
Not much else.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Brian?
I'm pretty much not buying anything else but a new oil tank. That's gonna run me about $4,000. So that's Merry Christmas to me.
Wow. Okay.
That's about it for me. So I think a lot of us are living in, what do we need and what do we want?
Whoops.
So
Wrong one. That's our guess.
We're going with that. But
Okay. I had to
have a
take
great
the hat
story,
off
man.
because I couldn't hear anything.
Why?
All right. Well, because
You had cotton.
Well, you had cotton in my ears, and I couldn't even
cotton
put the headphone couldn't fit on that hat. I was trying to, it just kept falling off my head. All right. Well, that person you saw is our guest for later, Stan. So we'll bring him in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, we don't. That's not a surprise. We don't.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a surprise.
Well,
I mean, we just announced it right on the pre-roll.
Well,
Who's
we
going to
did,
be
but,
here?
I mean, he's kind of a big deal. I wanted to save him for Christmas,
Well, that's why he's here. We're saving
So-
him for Christmas.
But I had a great thing. You know the Paris bakery opened up here in North Quincy, and I was looking at the cakes. So I got like really amped up and inspired. So I'm gonna go home and make a cake. I haven't made one in like 10 years, and it's a great story because it's a mistake, and I'm not afraid to share my mistakes.
Okay, you sure?
I was crushed for time. I got to get here. I got to meet up with everybody and make sure the show gets off on time. And then I tried to make a cake, but what I did is I tried to frost it immediately. And I don't know.
You want to
I
start
like
now?
whipped cream frosting.
Oh my goodness!
So when you have a hot cake, all right, and this is what the frosting is supposed to look like, people. Look at that. That I know how to make a beautiful whipped frosting because I don't like the heavy. I don't know about you, Kayla, but I don't like that heavy like frosting on cake. I like the light whip,
Yeah.
and it goes on really nice. It looks really nice, but that cake's got to be cold, you big dummy.
Yeah. Yeah, let it cool. That's why, that looks like more like a glazed donut.
And you know what? That's what we pay chefs for, and that's what we pay bakers for.
Exactly.
We pay for their talent.
Yeah.
Anyone can go buy chicken. Anyone can go buy beans, but you can't make it the way a chef makes it.
Well, I'm sure the cake still tastes good, right?
Oh, it's gonna taste good. But my mother and my grandfather are laughing at me right now because
I'm laughing at you too inside.
all the time, Mike. And I couldn't even do the frosting, put it on correctly. So if someone's making you a great meal and there's real love involved, they take their time. It's that extra 15, 20 minutes.
So basically, you did not love the cake.
No, I didn't. I
love
was
the
in a
cake.
rush, and I was
There was
like,
no love
You
there.
can
I'm
wait.
not going to buy that $58 cake down in Paris. Who do they think they are? I'm going to make one for $12 and it's going to be better.
Well, good try. I mean,
yeah.
it's you get an A for effort. How's
Well,
that?
when it goes on after it's cool, it'll look okay. But it's Kayla actually.
It's all
shocked me
Kayla's
tonight.
fault. It's
No,
Kayla's
she
fault.
shocked me tonight. I go, Kayla, what is the Christmas diet for an elf?
Candy canes, candy corn, and syrup.
And let me tell you something right now that was not rehearsed.
That was
It
not
came
rehearsed.
off her lips like she knew it.
Boom.
She watched it yesterday. I don't know where that's from.
She must
Come
be
on,
a candy
everybody knows
connoisseur.
that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, because it's like you're supposed to have candy, right?
Candy.
And then I brought cake, more sweets, and then sugar, because it's all part of an elf's diet.
Yeah.
So we would live on an elf diet today.
Yeah.
That's where.
I think you'd be dying on an elf diet.
Well, I mean,
Eventually.
as you get older,
All that
it's-
sugar,
it's
yeah.
not easy,
Not good for you all the time.
Yeah. And I
At
might
Christmas,
even wash it
it's
down with
allowed.
soda.
At Christmas, it's allowed. At Easter, it's allowed. At Halloween, it's allowed.
You know what this sound is?
Valentine's, it's allowed.
My head getting fatter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When
what is
crack
that? What
open
is
a
that?
Nice Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. It's number 23 special blend.
Oh really?
Yeah, they tried many different blends, but this was the one they went with. I don't know.
So that is the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta
sorry.
be a pepper. What do you think?
Okay.
What's your favorite candy?
Candy. I like Reese's.
I'm a big fan of Reese's too. Got to get that peanut butter and chocolate covered.
You know where that came from, right? The movie E.T.
No,
were
it
gonna
didn't.
discontinue making
You're talking about Reese's Pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were going to discontinue making Reese's Pieces, the little ones.
Yeah.
But then the movie E.T. came out.
And then
You know what that was always interested me about that? At that time, M&M's slogan was "Make friends with M&M's."
Right.
That would have been the perfect candy for using in E.T. because he used the Reese's Pieces
I get
to
it.
make friends with E.T.
But someone in marketing
Somebody
says
screwed up.
Yeah, no. Someone in marketing didn't. Someone in marketing says we're not selling Reese's Pieces. We invested all the money in this. We're going to discontinue it. How can we save it? Yeah, let's give it to this movie. Who knows what it's going to do?
Yeah, well, look what happened.
Yeah.
And the rest
cried
is
like a
history,
baby,
as they
and I
say,
ate
right?
Reese's Pieces for
There you
like a
go.
week.
So, let's see. There's one other thing I'm going to put in. I'll put in during the break. You haven't been here for a while as fun with food. So, what have you been doing, food adventure wise?
Food adventure wise.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Everywhere, Mike. Everywhere.
Well, okay. What do you got coming up, food adventure wise?
Well, food adventure wise, I'm going to be traveling all around Florida, from Tampa all the way through to like Key West, Miami, Key Largo. I'll be trying key lime pies, different fiction concoctions, and also barbecue. And I might be taking some of this with me. I don't know if you've.
Whoops.
This is probably going to come up later in the conversation, but I'm going to take some of this with me for that fish. We're going to catch some yellow snapper. We're going to season it with this stuff, and let me tell you, they're going to be dreaming about this dry rub down in Florida. I can tell you that much right now. But so I'll be doing that. Starting that on the 4th. I'll be down there for about 12 days.
Okay, what places have you visited already?
I've already been through. I've been all over Florida, so now it's just going back and seeing everything from a different perspective, like doing it from the food aspect, the travel aspect, pulling it all together, and then creating something new, something different, a different blend, I should say, a different blend
Okay.
of
Cool.
entertainment.
And Kayla, what have you been up to, food-wise? Any good restaurants? What's going on?
Well, we actually, it was my brother's birthday on Sunday, but we
Oh.
went out last Friday. We went out to Stockholders in Weymouth, which is really, really good. But as far as, food stuff, or other than that, but Brian and I shot and squeezed in a few shots or a few stuff for the Scraping the Plate channel. So we went to. We had a big day that day, Brian.
Big
right?
day.
We
Big
went
day.
to Italy to get a few things.
Kayla really pushed us. That
Yeah.
day. We went to Italy in Boston.
Yeah.
We went to an Asian market, and we also went to a traditional supermarket.
Yeah.
So 3 different places, to
Yeah.
get stuff. You go to a butcher shop, but Italy had it all. So we got some good fromage,
Fromage.
and we got some focaccia bread
Gotcha.
to make the meatballs,
Oh, cool.
and stuff like that. But I want to talk, cooking at home can be great, and we do very well with it, but it's a controlled environment. We're not under the gun. We're not making menus. We're not setting plates. A cook is different than a chef. I want everyone to understand that. Cooks have that pleasure of being home and doing whatever they want to do and as much time as they want, cooking for who they love, with things they know. It's easy. A chef running a line, getting the product to the table, making customers happy, building a menu, building a crew. So building a sous chef and the people that work around you and running a team, it's a totally different animal. It really is. And there's a lot of respect for that. And every time that you think, I'm going to go back to it again, hey, you know what? I can do that. I'm smarter than that.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than that, and I'd rather go out. And Kayla and I have been to a few different restaurants together and talking about different show aspects and stuff. And just business lunches. Go out and have a nice meal and be like, hey, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Be like, hey, that was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that's what people want today. Because money's hard to come by. And when they go out, they want that great experience.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
Well, I had a
someplace
couple
I'd
great experiences too since the last Fun with Food. So I'm
Yeah.
going to share some of my great experiences with everybody. How about that? Okay, so here we
in.
go. This was my experiences a couple months ago in Europe. All right, take a
I
look
can't wait.
and enjoy. My mouth is watering again.
Oh my God.
Now, Brian's been to Europe many times, so he knows what we're talking about here.
Still
Yeah.
amazing.
The one restaurant that you saw was a wide shot. It was called Wonderland. It was actually on Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas. We did a Mediterranean cruise around we hit Spain, France, Italy, several places, and then we ended in Barcelona and stayed there for several more days. The last one was a Taco Bell in Barcelona, and I know it wasn't like the rest of them, but I had to point out that in Europe, at least especially in Spain, they serve salad in addition to, as a side, to the regular combos. So every combo has either a salad or nachos or something like whatever you decide is a side. So you can get it was almost a full salad in addition to the actual combo meal, which is very good. Yeah, it was a very tasty salad, I got to tell you. And it was cheaper there than it was here. So you get a salad and it was cheaper. So, but the Wonderland,
better menus and cheaper.
Yeah, and I'll just say everything was pretty fresh because we were in southern Spain. Barcelona's in southern Spain, so it's like being in Florida. So you get fresh fruits and things like that.
They're really big on fish.
Yep,
They're
very
really
big on fish.
and seafood.
Very big on fish and seafood. Okay, so let's introduce our guests for the evening because fish and seafood and steaks and everything tastes better when we have this guy in the room.
That's right.
Chef Dan. How you doing, Chef Dan? Welcome to Performer to Radio and Television. Now, I met you at the Rock and Roll Drive-In, right? Was he there, Brian? No, okay.
I met him at the Seafood Festival.
The Seafood Festival up in Hampton Beach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You were with you did an exposition in the tent, didn't you? Yeah. Whoops. Like there he is. Okay, there you go.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I did. I've done it the last 3 years, doing demos in the culinary tent there. It's always cool to see
With
people
Scott
out
Whitley. Every year it's a little different with the weather too.
there. Yeah, that's always a challenge.
It's always a challenge, whether it be windy, too hot, too cold. It's always something going on that time of year. You never know what you're going to get. A couple of years ago, we had a good weather day, but I don't remember any other weather day being that nice.
Well, he's got that covered too. I mean,
it's covered, but it's still right by the ocean. So,
right.
I mean, if it's a hot day, and that's actually a sauna in there.
Well, I was saying he's covered by the sense he does outdoor cooking too.
Oh, that's right. There you go.
I'm a shameless plug guy. That's me. Because I love this stuff. I mean, but
now,
tell us about his pedigree. Like, let's hear
what got you? I mean, you're a chef.
Yeah.
Okay. You work at the Tap Room in Boston.
The Tack Room, TACK.
TACK. Okay.
Yep. And
Tack Room.
Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah, Lincoln, Mass. Just right outside of Boston.
Right outside of Boston.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm assuming you've been doing this for a while. And what made you decide I'm going to start my own line of seasonings?
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while. I started when I was 13, 14, washing dishes like any other chef probably has started. And, during COVID, we do a lot of competition cooking as well. So during COVID, when everything kind of shut down, we took the opportunity to slow life down in a sense, where we created these spices and rubs and got it all basically put together and, made down in Savannah, Georgia by a guy that I met at the World Food Championships when I competed down there. And he makes the spices for us, and they're just absolutely spot on from what we had a vision of.
Yeah, is your mouth watering with that picture, Brian?
I saw there's like an arugula on top, and you have the garlic on the side right there. But the way it was seared, the steak.
Oh yeah.
The way it was seared, that's the difference, because a lot of people don't know how to do that. Because you have a nice cool center. I mean, that's the way I love my steak.
So I think the good thing about this picture is it's saying to you,
I want to eat it.
Well, not just
I want to eat the
You
picture.
See the steak, you see the pasta, you see the panini,
bolognese, you see everything that goes into it.
And you see the French fries onto the left, which means it goes on everything.
Yep.
Right.
Essentially, that's what that picture says. Mm-hmm. That picture is worth 1,000 words, and probably 1,000 different tastes too. So obviously, there's different seasonings for different types of foods. Are any of them multi-talented, like fish and seafood or something like that? I mean, fish and seafood, fish and poultry or something like that?
Yeah, so the two I have here that I brought in are kind of like the mainstream ones. I've had vegetarian and vegan friends that absolutely put this stuff on. Vegetables, anything they want. I'll put the barbecue rub on eggs in the morning. They're universal. They're just kind of, work with everything. It's just a good common like ingredients that blend together well.
And you did this trial and error. You did this tasting. You have a lot of chefs that work under you too.
Yeah,
that are learning it. And I can tell you, they just talk so highly of you. They really respect you.
Thank you.
But you actually make the stuff yourself. You're very passionate about it. I mean, like, you're really like in it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it's the old food is love, and like that's what it is. It's whatever, if you're having a bad day or whatever you're feeling, and the beauty of being a chef is, for a place like the Tack Room, it's like upscale comfort food. So there's no specific cuisine we need to make day in and day out.
Right.
So we can do pretty much anything we want.
Yeah, you're very inventive. I mean, one spot you're making seafood stuff and chicken, and then I had your lobster rolls on a yacht this summer at a big party.
That's where they belong, right?
Yeah, I'm like, lobster rolls on a yacht with these guys. He goes, yeah. He's like, where's Dan? And he's like, couldn't be here. And he goes, well, we have his lobster rolls. I go, it'll work. And that was at the Martinis, that Martini event that we went to. But you seem to be everywhere, like in restaurants, on TV shows, making your own rubs. Like, you really like have a presence in the chef world in New England, this area. So,
oh, thank you.
I mean, definitely they see it. And what about the Tack Room is special to you? I mean,
it's just a good group of people. Like, the owners are awesome. I have complete full reign of the kitchen, from staffing to basically anything I want to do. So if I have some sort of weird creation I want to try, I'm going to try it. And you win some, you lose some, but for
like the cake.
Yep, like the cake.
But that's that you gain from everything that you try, a win or a loss.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're always learning. Like Kayla, that's something that she's really good at. She'll get into something, win or loss doesn't matter. Kayla's always there for the game.
Going to try, yeah.
And that has to do with her movie career or anything. Very passionate, very there. Now, for a younger crowd, like going there for a party, like I would have said you should have went to the Tack Room, if you're going out with your brother.
Yeah.
And trying
well,
that
the thing
stuff.
is, like, so we went to stockholders in Weymouth because we used to always go to Assembly in Quincy. That was always our go-to
Right,
place.
yeah, you switched it up.
And you switched it up to go to a steakhouse. It was really, really good. So it was a good change of pace.
Now, looking at that, Dan's creations there, like, which one would you go after? Like, would it be the steak? Would it be the sandwich?
Probably the sandwich was more appealing to me. The sandwich.
The layers that he had in that.
Yeah,
one.
So
it looked very like crisp.
That's that famous duck grilled cheese that we do at events a lot.
Oh, grilled cheese.
What is it? Hang on.
Go
What
on,
is it?
grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese with what?
It's a duck grilled cheese. So it's cranberry sourdough. And then we make our own apple butter and blue cheese mustard. And then we put Vermont cheddar cheese on there. And then we confit the duck and caramelized onions.
Oh.
Yeah. It's,
Every step of that dazzled me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but like the duck.
Some grilled cheese.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is how we make the bread. No big deal. We make it like this. The cranberries, we make it homemade. No problem.
Has Wicked Bites been there yet? The Tack Room? I don't believe.
No, they visited me at one of my last restaurants. I
Okay,
came down.
right.
But Scott had the duck grilled cheese, and he has not stopped talking to me about it.
Yeah.
He's in love with it. He's like, every time he hears my name, he's like, that sandwich is just, it does something to you. I don't know what it is. And it does. Like, people, I don't know what it is when you eat it. It changes people's mentalities, minds. Like, it's just, it's life-changing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you bring. That's what you bring to the game. Like, it's you're not only good at what you do, you're great at what you do, and that transfers to the food. And I think when you talk about how you make it, each one of those disciplines, making the bread or making the duck correctly, each one of those things is a different discipline. And you bring those together. That's incredible. Because, I mean, you don't usually have a chef that has that much control of the menu or has the, ability to make like that. It's not, because they have to be pigeonholed. And sometimes I think that a lot of chefs, they don't get to create what they want, to do what they want. They're not doing something they're passionate about. They're doing the menu that's created for them and cooking by the menu, by the book, and weighing everything. And, I got to make this certain dish tonight. They don't have that luxury. But you kind of like get to explore a little bit, and
Oh, absolutely. And then, to be honest with you, like, I let my like line cooks and everybody kind of bring stuff to the table, so they actually feel that creativity of what they want to do. You know, we do a burger of the moment every week. We change up a different burger. So,
Really?
Yeah. So we have a different pizza and a different burger every week, and I give that ability for the line cooks to come in and try something out that they've been trying to think of, or just to keep them engaged, because when you're engaged, you love what you do.
Right.
So what kind of seasonings do you have there right now?
So right here I
Just a
got
little show and tell.
the steak seasoning, which this thing was actually created when I competed at the World Food Championships and I competed in the steak division, and I had to come up with a seasoning, so I just kind of threw some things in a bowl and voila, here we go. We got a steak seasoning that kind of stuck after all these years. And still do a lot of steak cooks are all around the country that this bad boy has won and placed very well. A lot of people use it other than myself. So it did well. And then this is just your standard barbecue dry rub.
Nice.
Which the color, if you do use it to smoke meats and ribs and all that, the color of it is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I couldn't have even asked for that to come out the way it did. It was just, it's spectacular.
So you actually do battle.
Oh yeah.
You do battle. You go in and you say, you know what? I'm so confident. I'm going to go up against other chefs, and I'm going to make a steak better than them.
Yeah.
And you're talking about down south. We're not talking about us. We're talking about down south.
Yeah. We've you know, like a buddy of mine, like the first ever barbecue competition we did, we went to Memphis and competed in the World Barbecue Competition down in Memphis in May. So it's like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta like learn from some of the best. You know, you're not just gonna.
I noticed your shirt. Barbecue it.
So this is my buddy Craig's.
We know Craig was here.
Craig Kimberly.
Yep.
Craig
So
Kimberly.
He's my.
Craig's our guy. He was our first guest.
He was
on
our
Fun
first
with
guest.
Food.
You know what?
He was
I
our
think
very
that
first
was.
guest.
I think that was right before we went to Memphis in May.
It was.
Right.
Yeah,
It was.
He was.
It was.
Yeah, because I saw it and he was
I
giving
love
away our
this
chicken
world
wing
of
secrets.
food.
He was giving away our chicken ring secrets before he went down. He was talking about, you know, like how we were doing it and practicing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a competition barbecue team called Grand Smoke Railroad.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely
actually-
you do.
Actually, I remember. There it is. Look at that. Well, you can do that
That's
again. Do that again. We get a close up of it. Grand Smoke Railroad competition barbecue. There you
Craig,
go.
Yep.
I can't believe I've been friends with Craig for a long time, and let me tell you, he makes a brisket. He gets up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, starts making these briskets when we have the football games. I'm actually drooling right now. I just spit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what he makes in brisket, and I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, you're not only saying I'm going to go up against you, but I'm also going to develop a team that's going to be hard to beat. You know, and I think when you champion food, it's always having those collaborations that make it really cool.
It is.
Another set of eyes on the temperature or how it's being cooked. You know, the right amount of chip that's going there, the wood chip.
Yep.
Because you use different wood chips too and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's a science. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but like, I watch a football game. I won't even finish the football game. I'm there for the brisket and then a nap.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's cool. It's people like Craig that you meet. Like, we met and we've been friends for a while. And then, like, my buddy Rico, who was part of a Q Shanty barbecue team, he hooks me up with, like, cooking equipment and stuff so I can just show up and cook. And he's got the whole, like, setup and all that
You can
stuff.
focus, right.
Yeah, and then, you know, a couple of, like, other good friends have been all across the country winning state competitions, like, all the way out to Alaska, you know, Scott and Lindsay, and they've been great. And then, you know, like, one of my good friends, Stephen Coe, is a chef that, you know, he's beat Bobby Flay and stuff. So it's just, you put yourself around people that just do good things, and you just
wanna
create
compete
good
against the best.
friendships.
Yeah, it raises your game too.
It does.
So I tell people, like, if you go up against someone and you fail, but they're the best in the world, that's the smartest challenge you ever taken.
Yep.
You don't want to be sitting around and be like, you know, the king of the sheep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be the sheep around with the lions. You know? I mean, I'd rather be like, hey, I'm putting
Well,
myself
I
out
wouldn't
there.
go too far there.
Well, I mean, a little. I might be chased by
You might be
anacondas
dinner
later
with the
on,
lions around.
and they're talking about barbecue and alligators. I mean, there's some really weird stuff.
I'm going to ask this
That's
question.
cooking.
We actually got alligator on the menu at the
Yeah,
tech room.
I figured
See?
you probably would.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
but
Dan-
I heard it tastes a little like chicken.
Yep.
Dan, so speaking of
Yeah,
which,
sure.
what is your favorite thing? What is your favorite meal to barbecue, with the spices? Like, is it chicken, fish, seafood, other seafoods, shellfish? What?
I mean, it
Meat,
all,
straight
yeah.
beef, pork.
I can't ever pick one specific thing because, like, my cravings are different each day. So that's the beauty of like what I like to cook. I mean, remember a couple years ago we had those like blizzards that were back to back, and there was
Yep.
like 3 feet of snow.
2015. That's correct.
So I was outside with a smoker smoking a rack of lamb because I had nothing else to do and I was
Rack of
bored.
lamb. There you go.
So I was like shoveling, and I was like,
that's
I'm
my
gonna fire
thing.
up the- yeah,
Lamb.
Lamb is like, I love lamb.
So much flavor.
You know,
I hosted something last week. I love lamb.
lamb and duck are kind of my favorite
Yeah.
go-to because
There you go. So that's what I was looking.
Yeah,
at.
they're
Kayla, what about
gamey.
you?
I think
What's
they
your
taste a
go-to?
little better.
What do you like to have barbecued the most?
I mean, I do love meat. I'm definitely no
A
vegan.
meat
That's for
meat
sure.
person,
I'm
okay.
a meat person. But usually, my dad's usually the griller of the household. So usually he'll grill like either chicken or kielbasa, or like he'll sometimes do steak once in a while. But steak and kielbasa is his go-to.
What's yours, Brian?
Well, I mean, Kayla, that's great. And you know what? Your palate will only grow.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so great having you on the show, is because you're someone that's just getting into it, emerging, and starting to learn about food, and you have a different perspective sometimes. Me on barbecue, I stick with Dan on this one, the steak. I'm a real big steak guy. Dan Krega hit me with the brisket, and I've been hitting the brisket in like nice rolls. I'm kind of a brisket guy now. So I'm evolving, my palate's evolving, and I'm trying different things, so we'll see where that goes.
Usually the brisket is the one that's cooked the longest, right?
Yeah, it's cooked the longest, and
Yeah.
it has like a nice, resilient, greasy flavor. It's very meaty. It's like how some people put boar in a bolognese to make it taste a little gamier on your pasta. And I like the gamier food. I don't know what that's like. I had deer, a nice set of deer for Christmas down my friend's house, a nice loin, and he cooked it in bacon fat.
okay.
Outside, and it's just cracked pepper and salt, nothing big, but the deer was so good, and it was cooked on a nice fire.
That's
And
awesome.
I think the bacon really.
Yeah,
Venison is an acquired taste, though, a little bit. If it's local, it's more gamey. And the same thing with seafood. If it's local, it's more. It's got
Well,
a like.
it's natural. It's
it's
grass
more
fed.
natural.
It's like a cow
Yeah.
if it's grass fed.
Yeah.
They're gonna taste different, and a lot of people that taste grass fed cow, they're like, "Ew, this is horrible."
yeah.
And
Right.
you as a chef would be like,
Yeah, Brian, remember that went to a barbecue at his friend's house a few months ago in the summer, and he had like this huge like pig on a rotisserie.
yep.
It was like this big. I was like, I've never seen. I mean, I had it. It was interesting.
"It was a little
It was
medieval."
a little medieval, yeah, but like, I've never seen such a thing in my life. I was like, what did I just get myself in? What did I
Right.
walk into?
It's actually
and she loved it. She
very
loved
common
it. She
in some
kept hitting the
places.
pig. I'm like, "Kayla, stay away from the pig." She kept picking at the pig, and like the big snout's hanging out, and she's going right in there, and I'm like, I like my co-host.
Yeah, game,
Actually, they do that at luau's all the time.
Yeah.
They have a roasted
I'm
pig.
like, what did I walk
game
Yeah.
meats are delicious if they're done right.
Right? Yeah.
Like we actually, the whole month, every December, I've been doing this for 5 years now. Every December, we do a beast and bourbon menu. It's all game meats paired with bourbons,
That's perfect.
and it's
it
we
works.
got elk, quail lollipops.
Ostrich.
No ostrich. It's a little too expensive right now.
It is very
I was
expensive.
looking at it, but wild boar and wagyu beef raviolis, and then I make these things called bonuts.
Okay.
It's a biscuit dough that you cook like a munchkin or a donut, and we stuff it with alligator chorizo. With a blueberry coulis
Well,
type of thing.
I think the food we're talking about, because it's this particular show that I'm doing down in Florida, it's going to be on the Sports Network, the Outdoor Network, that type of environment. So, yeah, I think looking at that stuff and game is. My dad grew up on deer. He grew up in Washington State, so he actually lived on it. Like his family was poor, so he would go out and he'd hunt. And actually, there's a lot of Indian tribes out there that still do it today, and hunt for deer and then bring them back. And his brothers would always send back pictures of all these deer they had strung up in the backyard, and he'd be like, "Yeah, like wish I could get me some Olympia beer and some deer in me, And he would go back all the time, but him and his brothers would hunt constantly,
Yeah.
If you're ever in the Everglades for your show, Brian, you're gonna have to try some alligator.
Yeah,
You know
well,
that, right?
There's also, believe it or not, a giant rat that's invasive
Ugh.
to Florida and Louisiana and Mississippi that was brought up here to make fur from. There's only 20 of them. they escaped into the wild because the fur business didn't do good. And it's a large rat with bright orange teeth. I don't know. Kayla, can you Google that and find out what type of... But they're actually trying to make food out of it.
Kind of like in the possum department, I guess. Maybe?
No, it's straight up rat.
Ugh.
It's a straight up in the rat family, but it looks like a giant beaver with a fur coat. But it's an invasive
It just reminded
species.
me of the...
What it does is it eats up all the sawgrass in the marshland, and that allows the waves and everything to come right in on the and destroy the wetlands.
You just reminded me of the movie Demolition Man.
So I found it. It's called
when they had the rat burgers.
What's it called? What's it called, Kayla?
It's called the nutria. I don't know
The
if you see
nutria.
it.
That's it. The nutria.
The teeth.
And these, invasive species, the nutria, the pythons down there, those pythons grow to like 30 feet.
Yeah.
They're eating all the alligator eggs.
This took an ugly turn.
Well, no, I'm just saying that, like, if you can take a rat and make it taste like a great dinner.
We went from Wagyu to rat.
It's going to be on the menu in Louisiana. Hear me out. It's going to be on the menu.
Right.
And there's actually, you get a bounty for these things that you catch and kill.
So they're going to make them po' boys down south now?
Besides dinner, you get a bounty, too.
So we're going to make alligator. We're going to make snake. I don't know if I want to try the nutria, but...
I'll tell you what. We'll leave people with that for right now. We're going to go to a break.
Let that marinate.
Yeah, let that simmer for a few minutes, and we're going to go to a break. We'll come back, and hopefully stop talking about rats.
We got a lot more to talk about.
All right, we
got a lot more to talk about.
All right.
We got a pro in the room. We got a lot more to talk about.
We'll be right back with Dan.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it! Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Nice.
Okay, we are back. Hey, we're missing somebody right now.
What happened?
Where is she?
I don't know what happened to Kayla. I think she got.
I think we
she
got
a
something
little
for
scared
you,
by the
Brian.
nutria. Oh my
Happy
goodness.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
There
oh
we
boy.
go. We're lousy singers, but there we go.
You guys are. This is a real cake.
Hey, look at the frostings all
It's a cake
attached.
that was.
Hey.
Look at that.
I'm not going to tell you what the wish is, but it wasn't my last subject.
You can show that cake, Brian. That
Show that cake?
You can show that cake.
Yeah.
That's
See that? Look at that,
There you
huh?
go. That's what
Look at that.
it looks like.
Yes. That's how it's supposed to look, Brian.
That's how it's supposed to look?
I'm the one that paid the $52.
Well played, well played.
I love how it all comes together. I really do. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Well, Brian's birthday is tomorrow,
Is
so
this really from the Paris?
no, it's not. It's from
Okay,
the,
all
it's
right.
from another bakery.
It doesn't matter. It
It's
doesn't
from another
matter.
bakery that is local.
But it's great that you talk about it, and now we have both ends of the spectrum, and I think that's what we're talking with Dan. We have so many different avenues to go down. I'm like, we were off air, and I'm like, so what about knives? Like, because I'm a guy, like, what about knives? What about, like, I mean, is there a specialty brand that you use or anything like that? I mean, because that's a techno revolution right now. Used to be, remember when you were growing up, there was like the Ginsu.
Yep.
That was it. But now we have like, Heckle's gadgets. And what knives do you like to use?
I use a lot of Del Strong right now because they got a lot of cool different series from, different styles, from big knives that you could use for like briskets and butchering like big, big cuts of meat. And then also I have a 13, or I think it's a 14-inch Japanese sushi knife that is like a small sword.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sushi knife.
Yep.
And then how about when you're filleting fish or meats? Is it the same brands that you use, or do you jump off and do something different?
For the most part, it's all the same brand. I'll stick to getting like a set, and because it's all about the durability, the feel in your hand, and like just kind of the comfort. So
Yeah.
if you get that good set, and you can just do it up. Like I was telling you off air, I have a whole backpack that's just built for knives. So when I travel to the different competitions, I just
Go to the airport with a bag of knives. There you go.
yeah. You can't check that one, but
No.
you got to check that one. But it's cool because you got everything in this backpack that you could possibly need. So you can just, like you said earlier, you can throw down and cook wherever, whenever.
Yeah, and
pretty
Kayla
cool.
started on some dollar knives. We started on some dollar knives
I have
last
dull,
season.
I have dull knives at home. My mom
Yeah.
purchased like these like knives that aren't as sharp. I joke around with my parents. They're like Fisher Price knives.
Yeah. And then we tried some basic, like, higher-end Cuisinart, the colored knives that you get on TV there, and gave her a sharp knife, and it was a different way she cut.
Yep.
Because that's how you can tell a chef sometimes, too, is the way they prepare their onions, the way they prepare their potatoes. They have a certain cut to it. Like, how do you not lose a digit? Because you have all your fingers.
Yeah.
And how would you recommend someone that's just getting into cooking? Or for Kayla, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there a class you go to for cutting? Or would you watch videos online? Or
I mean, they got everything online nowadays, so you can probably watch it. I mean, just go slow. And the biggest thing is to tuck your knuckles in, so your tips aren't out. Because if it hits a seed or something, say goodbye to a finger for a while.
Right. Because we're talking about meat knives. Yeah.
Yep.
Talking about meat cuts.
Because I got my daughter, I bought her a knife, which, I didn't tell my wife for a while. She might, it's fine. She's good. It's all good. But I got her, and it's like a little blue one. And it was like, teaching her how to do it nice and slow.
Right.
And she used to just call it blue. It's like, go get blue. I'm going to cut this like carrot.
They have special gloves too, though, when you're cutting.
Yep, they
right?
got cut gloves. It's
Cut
almost
gloves,
like it's almost
They're
like
mesh.
like a really intense Michael Jackson
I
glove.
saw.
Well, that's if you're doing like sea urchin and stuff like that, and you're cracking those. I mean, I'll go a little crazy on this, but like maybe like, lionfish or something like that, and you're pulling off, those things, those spines that you don't want before you get to the good part of the meat, because some of the stuff's poisonous too. So blowfish or whatever, but that's a whole nother speciality, with sushi and production of that. But everything has a different knife, and it's about safety. And I see that a lot of times when you do barbecue, you wear black gloves. And why is that?
They're just more versatile. Like, they're stronger and they hold up better than like the latex gloves.
Yeah.
And just a better feel in your hand. It almost feels like you're not wearing a glove.
Right. And that's because also the grease doesn't touch the skin because that's what kind of burns,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You can touch hotter meat for a longer time,
Yeah, a lot of times you put that on, then if you're grabbing something out of the pit, you get one of those what's the name of it? Like just a glove that you can pick up, almost like a
fireman's glove.
Kind of, yeah. Like you can just pick up, like you can literally pick up coals with the glove, and
You are literally legit. Like you have different gloves and different knives and special backpacks. Are we talking about the Die Hard or something like this? What are we talking about? This is awesome stuff. So you have specialty gadgets.
yeah, you have to. You're just like anybody that's in a trade has specialty gadgets for specialty jobs,
You got to come prepared, Brian.
Okay. So basically we're talking to Batman but as a chef because he has a special utility belt and has different knives. And the right tool for the right job, I think you're talking about. Even a construction guy like myself, if you have the right tool, it makes it a lot easier when you're building anything because you are building, food. You're building different layers. Like, can you just say again what you make with that sandwich that Kayla wants to try again?
Oh, the duck grilled cheese?
Yeah, so how do you make it again? I want you people to hear this.
Yeah.
So it's cranberry sourdough with blue cheese mustard that we make, apple butter that we make, Vermont cheddar cheese, duck confit, and then caramelized onions.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's just like, it's almost like a song. It's almost like a song. I'm not going to remember the words.
It's a melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's talking about like Vermont cheese is some of the best in our country.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about making your own reductions, your own caramelizing the onions. Kayla's done that with some of the French onion soup that we made, bringing onions down and stuff like that. But all those little details that make the sandwich really sing. I'm excited. So, Mike, I think we're going to the...
I think we're going to the tack room very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
We're going... I might call it the attack room.
Yeah.
But
you'll be attacking
I'll
the
try
food.
to be
I know
civil.
that much.
Try to be civil.
That's always the case for you. Well, Dan, thank you very much for coming down here. We're going to give them your website address again. chefdanlane.com. And what can they find on there? The spices, what can they find on there?
Yep, there's spices, there's sauces, there's recipes. You can book me for private dinners or catering events. Like this past year, I just started a catering company called Chef Dan Lane's Culinary Experience, which we've already done 2 weddings. So we're just keep rising and grinding and just kind of just attack it.
Excellent. Any last words, Brian? Words, not paragraphs.
I just heard that he just mentioned that what we didn't talk about tonight is Chef Dan can be flown in and do a private menu.
You catch all that on his website then.
Yeah, go on the website, take a look at it. If you're renting that house out in Martha's Vineyard, your friend in Nantucket, and you want someone to come down and blow your doors off your friends, and you don't want to deal with the labor, just get it done.
Very good.
That's amazing.
Well, that wraps it up for this one. It wraps it up for this year for Fun with Food. We'll be back next year with a lot of new stuff. Next week, we're going to have a special retrospective performer radio show. And in January, we got some fun stuff coming in, including, hopefully, Fun with Food again towards probably middle or later in January. Kayla, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Brian, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a happy birthday.
Yep, and a good cake.
Dan,
guys.
keep cooking.
Thank you.
Keep cooking. We will get there.
I was drooling tonight.
I know you were.
It's bad.
And now you got a real cake to eat.
Yeah.
A real cake to eat. And a candy too. So
yeah. Well, that's what as an elf diet, so we're going to be on the elf diet tonight.
You can be elfing it up.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody, and stay tuned for more stuff from Performer Radio, especially in 2024. Bye-bye.